like here, you walk down the street, two, and there was the other.
All right, it is 7, and we are back in open session, and we begin tonight with public comment on 2019-2020 academic calendars. Those were posted for public review, so if anyone has come tonight to comment on the proposed calendars, now is the time. Feel free to come to the podium. Seeing no mad dash at the podium. Sure. This is a public hearing to discuss school calendars that propose to open school for the 19-20 school year on a date more than 10 days prior to the first Monday in September. There's no mad dash at the podium, so we will close the public comment on the calendars. And next we will do our Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Brings us to 3.02, approval of agenda. Do we have a motion?
I move the board adopt the agenda as presented. Second.
Any discussion on the agenda? Seeing none, roll call, please.
AJ?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Angie?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Kimmarie? Yes. Andy?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And invite Dallas Ackerman to the podium for honoring excellence.
Good evening, everyone. Before I make our recognitions tonight, just wanted to make mention of our holiday open house we held in this very room on Friday. We had around 800 students that at some point stood about where you were seated here tonight on Friday. 16 different groups. It was an awesome day, and just wanted to also remind everyone over the course of our upcoming holiday break, those will be available on our YouTube channel, on Channel 18. We Facebook Lived all those performances, so you can check those out. But all the students did a great job, and want to thank the Fine Arts Department led by Aaron Money for helping coordinate that. Well, I talk about this every year, and it is becoming, it's not a joke anymore. We need to just put this in our December Honoring Excellence calendar. As you can see there, the team photo, and it's a great team photo. The Liberty High School varsity cheer team competed at the Missouri State Cheer Competition on Saturday, December 1st, 2018. The team placed first in the Class 5 large varsity division for the 10th consecutive year. The team, led by 10 seniors, who will be introduced in just a moment, they qualified for state at the Kansas City Regional Competition earlier in the fall. Senior Kayla Watkins was also named to the Missouri State All-State Cheer Team. The team now turns all attention to the National High School Cheer Competition in Orlando, Florida. Good place to be in February of 2019. At this time, I'm going to introduce and ask that their head coach, Miss Brenda Moats, join me at the podium, and she has a few remarks to make, and then she will also introduce the seniors, and I think one of those seniors will share a few remarks as well.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for honoring us and this team again this year, and I feel like I say this every year, but every year is different because there is a different group of young women that are standing behind me. And luckily, I have the same coaching staff that has stood together for several years now, Coach Daisy King and Coach Belinda Ambrose. And I giggle every year because I think one of the things that makes us a great coaching team is we all teach kindergarten or preschool or elementary. And sometimes it's kind of a good gift to have that patience with young humans. And this group is a great group of young women. And we have 10 new to this team this year, so 15 returners. We graduated 7 last year. And when we did get ready for state, our competition season begins in April as we prepare for the year. You never know what's kind of coming your way each year. We did not cut one girl from the program that tried out for us this season, from the freshmen up to the seniors. We just decided to take everybody, give everyone an opportunity, see where it lands us. And when we got to our varsities, took the 25 young women we have behind me, and this group has worked really hard to get to where they are. In a lighter note, this summer we spent the summer with cockroaches at the Mizzou campus. That's no joke. They had to move us different dorms. It was kind of gross, actually. They've spent a lot of different camps that they've worked on. They've coached younger girls to become better young athletes, and then they've been good role models throughout the elementary schools as they've given back with their readathon this year. Everyone says, Brenda, when does this always happens? This is like a thing, this just comes about. And what I think they don't understand is how hard it is to repeat. One time is one thing, another time is another. 10 years is a lot. The freshmen behind me were 4 years old the first year that we won the state competition. So to think that those girls weren't even in Liberty Public Schools yet makes me feel a little bit old for doing this for so long. But that's a long time. And then some of the seniors, I had at Manor Hill in that kindergarten wing down there, so I've watched them grow up. It's fun to see. But this whole year has been different. I was reading downstairs, Delaney Fowler is one of our freshmen, and actually had her older sister in kindergarten who's now getting ready to have her second baby this week. But she was reading I don't know what the yearbook is called, the yearbook for the high school that was downstairs, and she said, look, Brenda, it said something about being superstitious or something. And I said, does it say that? And she goes, yeah, it says Brenda Moats is really superstitious, which is absolutely true. Well, this year, the state of Missouri threw me for a loop. They had a new president for the Missouri Cheer Coaches Association. They moved the competition from Columbia to St. Louis. That was a whole big thing, taking all these kids across the state, spending the night. They changed all the rules, all the judging scoring sheets. I mean, I was thrown. My superstitions went, oh no. And then Keenan Rader is kind enough to always freak me out every year with a nice banner she puts up at the high school. And this year it said, think big, and it looked like the Big Ten logo. So it's like, oh no. All this is just stuff I didn't know how to handle. Thankfully, my veterans on the team helped me through my superstitions, and my new team members said, we can do this, we got this, and these young women made that happen. So it was a decent margin by 11 points that they placed first at the state competition. Again, it's never something that gets old. It's never something that is easy, and each year it's just different to have different groups of young women to coach. So I'm going to introduce the seniors that have been leading this team for many years now. If the seniors, would you just step up this direction? It's a big group of them. Kayla Watkins is on the end. She was named to the All-State Cheer competition, or cheer team. Meg Weaver, Mitchell Rader, Claire Hussey, Megan Fullerton, Maddie Larson, Madison Clark, Michaela Brooks, Abby Lutke, and Grace Bueller was unable to be with us this evening. I know Mitchell Rader is super excited to address you as the senior and one of our
I'm going to piggyback off of everything she said. First and foremost, thank you so much for having us and honoring us. It means a lot, especially like after all the vigorous work that does go into state and our season. I've been doing it for 4 years. I'm very excited to be done with it, so I never have to be stressed out like that again. But I will say, this team, I've had a lot of fun on this team. I think we've meshed like in a really great way. We get along really well. And and we were able to overcome a lot of like loops and obstacles. Like she said, we are very superstitious. I'm incredibly superstitious myself. Like I wear the same socks every time I compete or like something crazy like that. So when we had to go to Lindenwood, it was super scary, but it all paid off. And I've won state 4 times, and Brenda's won state 10 times, and hopefully we can keep it going.
Thank you again for taking time to honor us and these young women. We really appreciate it.
Fantastic job of selecting your team spokeswoman. you chose right. Mr. Rothman, would you
Yes,
like
as is our tradition, let's stand and give our state champions a standing ovation.
I also, I think I gave Brian another picture that we had from, and you may be seated, yeah. And I think, Keenan, you shared this with me, and Brenda mentioned it, and I just thought, you know, they have all these accolades with what they do at their competition, and we oftentimes focus on that. But what they did last summer to get in front of 900 students as part of their cheerleaders program, and I think they raised over $1,000 that they decided to give back to our libraries, correct, Brenda? To $250 to each of those 4 schools that participated.
Yeah, instead of gifts, you know, they get rewards with the thought, in lieu of that, they take that money and give it back.
Yeah. So just awesome stuff that they do beyond in their competitions, which I think is always awesome. So let's give them a round of applause for that. Tonight we also, and we've had this bookmarked for a few weeks here, is we wanted to have some representatives from Magna LMV here this evening. I'm going to read a few paragraphs of why they are deserving of such recognition. Their state-of-the-art training center located in the Heartland Meadows area off of 69 Highway is home to 3 programs that offer amazing opportunities for Liberty Public Schools and Northland students. The training center is a focal point in LMV's partnership with the Northland Center for Advanced Professional Studies, or Northland CAPS, an organization that provides high school students with opportunities to gain exposure and skills related to high-demand, high-skill professions such as engineering, computer software development, and advanced manufacturing. Another program still in the infancy stages is the KC Tech Academy. This program launched last summer and offers a 2-year training program for high school students to earn a high school diploma and certification in manufacturing technologies, automation, and robotics. Magna LMV also has been an integral part in planning and implementing the EBTT, or Employee-Based Transition Training Program. This is a 1-year school-to-work training program for students who qualify for vocational rehabilitation services. The goal is for these students to have a hands-on approach to learning about the company for competitive employment. They willingly open their doors for our students, teachers, and administrators to tour their facilities. They are always open to partnering with us and will do whatever it takes to help our students and teachers learn more about their industry. Liberty Public Schools would like to thank Magna LMV for all of their ongoing support and look forward to continuing this strong partnership as we move forward. They have a few representatives with us tonight. I asked Mr. Bob Clemens, Director of Human Resources, to come forward, and I will present him with the certificate, and then I think he'll have a few remarks as well.
All right. Well, thank you. It's kind of hard to beat that. 10 years. I don't. Maybe hopefully 10 years from now we'll have the same thing. Maybe we'll beat them. But congratulations to you guys. It's something that's really unheard of. I've never even heard of 10 years in a row. That's pretty awesome. But thank you guys for honoring us. Magna's a very large company, and we've been around for a while, but we kind of like to think of ourselves as the big company nobody's ever heard of. So we kind of are under the radar. But when it comes to the school district here, I've been in HR a long time. I've been doing this a long time, trying to partner with other schools, and you guys got something real special here because the whole school board. Jeremy Tucker's been a key part with us, and Colleen as well. I think she's back there somewhere. But you guys all in this room supporting the things that we want to accomplish. Obviously, you know, we're a business, we're a for-profit business, and you know, we have goals that we need to meet, and you know, we also share a sense of community. So our company, that's big for us. We want to make sure that we are a part of the community, and you know, being able to partner with you guys has been pretty special. And so we want to thank you guys. I know we're getting recognized, and we're very thankful for that. But really, we're saying thank you to you guys, because you guys are what's really important. So thank you very much.
One final piece to add. Hope everyone has a happy holiday season upcoming, and look forward to seeing everyone back here in January.
We will take a break in just a moment so we can take the time to come out and meet some of the honorees this evening. But before we do, I want to make everyone aware that when we come back, we will be at the segment called Public Comment. Anyone who is here that wants to address the board this evening, there's blue cards on the table right outside that door. If you fill a card out, hand it to either Dr. Tucker or myself or another board member, then you'll have a chance to speak to us after we get back from our break at 7:25. Okay. And I did not receive any requests to make a public comment.
Whoa. No, because our crowd is.
Okay. And it's an empty room. All right then. So we will move past the public comments, and we're at our consent agenda. Our adopted rules of parliamentary procedure, Robert's Rules, provide for a consent agenda listing several items for approval of the board by a single motion. Documentation concerning these items has been provided to all board members and the public in advance to assure an extensive and thorough review. Items may be removed from the consent agenda at the request of any board member. Do we have a motion on the consent agenda?
The board approved consent agenda items 4.01 through 7.04. Second.
Any discussion on the consent agenda? Seeing none, roll call, please.
AJ,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Angie,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Kimberly,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
motion carries.
All right, 8.01 policy revision.
The one policy presented to you this evening for consideration, this being your second view of it, is policy language regarding technology usage. So we'll present that to you for consideration. We do have a second set, couple of policies that are presented to you for first read, which have to do with some programming and initiatives that we're currently walking through, that being our expansion and access for virtual courses for high school students. Given some of the legislative changes that occurred last spring, then play out in the course of this school. Second piece is as it relates to non-traditional instruction. Those options, as you recall, we put forward the proposal for college, navigating dual credit, dual enrollment, how we recoup ADA, how we facilitate the funding of those types of programs. So we presented that to you for first read. The only one in front of you this evening for your formal consideration is the HB technology usage. So we presented that for your consideration.
Have any questions or ready for a motion?
Just out of curiosity, the yellow highlighted part, was that not in the policy prior?
Correct. Correct.
Okay. That was my
Anyone want to make a motion?
I move the board approve policy EHB.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
AJ,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Angie,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Kimberly, yes, Andy,
Yes.
motion carries.
Move us to administrative procedures.
Companion piece, 1802 has, I believe, 6 or so administrative procedures that again are just presented into the record, so to speak, no formal action necessary. We want to ensure that they are policy and procedures that we have in place for the district. But that's just presented to you this evening.
Questions for the administration? We'll move to unfinished business, the 1920 academic calendar.
So then in addition to this evening's public hearing, which that's a requirement each time we go to set the calendar, keeping in mind that we do have 2 calendars presented to you this evening for consideration, that being a regular 2019 academic calendar, as well as the calendar for Pick Elementary. Appreciate Team Liberty and their work in crafting this from year to year, as well as Sandra's assistance in creating a variety of calendar scenarios. On the EPIC side, Dr. Schmitz, as well as Bob Citro, Academic Services, in terms of their efforts in trying to put that together as well as the calendar. As we've indicated back at our November meeting, first day of school for the regular calendar will be August 14th. A couple of other notable dates, October 21st through 24th, parent-teacher conferences, or student showcase week, winter vacation, which is always of interest, December 23rd through January 3rd. Spring break, parent-teacher conference and student showcase in the spring, March 9th through 12th, and spring break on March 16th. anticipated last day of school. And then you see included in the weather makeup days. Looking at Epic Elementary, some similarities, but their first day of school being August 7th. You see their showcase dates, coinciding our winter vacation with our academic calendar for the rest of the district. Spring showcase, similar spring break, and then how we modify their extended school year to the last day of June, on June 12th as well as their last day of school, along with inclement weather parameters as it relates to Epic. I will say this, as we've monitored bills that are being put forward for consideration, there are some alternative options in how you make up snow days. For example, being able to accommodate some type of an online learning experience to students so as not to exceed 60 hours. We're looking at a particular piece of legislation along those lines. Other states are able to do that. So we present these to you for your consideration and appreciate the work of everyone that's been involved along the way in getting us to this point. This 2019 school year, as well as everything.
Any questions? Got a recommended motion there.
Move the board adopt the 2019-2020 Epic Elementary District academic calendars.
Second.
Discussion on the motion. Roll call, please.
AJ,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Angie,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Kim Marie. Yes. Andy.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Goes to 9.02, Children's Services.
You have several documents that we want to walk you through this evening. I'm trying to tee this up in anticipation of the December board meeting, beginning with an agreement with Children's Services Fund. As you recall, that measure was approved by voters in Clay County to provide mental health services for children under the age of 21, both within the public school setting, but then those that perhaps are serviced elsewhere. And so as we walked through that from approval by our voters to getting the governing board up and running, to vetting the agreement, to landing on partner providers, to how this is all structured in terms of remunerating for services. We have 5 documents: Children's Services Fund agreement, 2 memorandums of understanding, one with Synergy Services and one with Tri-County Mental Health. A companion piece to those memorandums of understanding are independent consulting agreements in terms of how services will be paid for by the district. There was an adjustment to that just as of this afternoon at 4:30. Talking and meeting with between academic services and those providers. The amount that is awarded through our grant remains the same, $900,000. We modified the disbursement as it relates to Synergy and Tri-County. There were some services that they then shifted from Tri-County over to Synergy to the tune of around $62,000. So those 2 agreements that you have in and around independent consulting agreements, the modification, one of which is Synergy Services, changes from $312,655 to $250,375. But you see that difference reflected on the other independent consulting agreement with Tri-County Mental Health, and that is adjusted from $309,500 to $371,000. Prior to affixing our signature, we do want to make sure that we have revised copies prior to that submission. So tomorrow we intend on delivering to Children's Services Fund the agreement, the memorandums of understanding, as well as the independent consulting. So similar to what we've done with Casey Tech Academy and kind of building it as we're flying it, we're seeing some of that experience with the Children's Services Fund as they establish their governing board, as they establish the parameters for the grant, as we receive the grant award. I would imagine and surmise that we'll see more of that into the spring as we move to activate services on behalf of our students. Appreciate the flexibility, but we'll still continue to move forward with that due diligence and ensuring that our students know.
Questions do we have on this?
Any idea about numbers, how many people they think they might interact with? Any of that's been...
So one of the things we've talked about is the locations and sites of where they will be housed. And so we're talking with them about services in probably 4 locations. Those elementaries that probably exhibit the greatest need, of which is probably driven by socioeconomic. So albeit a couple of locations will be identified within the district, those services will be accessible to all of our students at the elementary level. Secondary level, looking at 2 additional locations. Secondary level, probably at a couple of our greatest need schools, but at that level, other secondary students will access that. In terms of specific number of students, projected number of students to serve, I don't know if you have any number of that.
I have, so they have based their units of, they call it number of units that they would provide service to. So it's about an hour of a session. So right now I have 5,971 units that they could provide or that they're projecting that they would be able to serve. Some of those are with community case management, and there are 800 units provided for the community case management. So potentially up to 800 families that could be provided assistance in one way or another. And that obviously would be more than just the unit of the student. It could potentially provide service to those families as well on nights and weekends.
Have they geared up in terms of additional staff?
They're still really trying to fill and having some trouble in getting in finding people. But right now they believe that we're about 1.5 short to be able to get started by the end of January, 1st of February, if everything goes as planned.
The other thing that we can anticipate is a different structure moving in beyond this year. We've walked through the process for this initial grant cycle as the district is kind of passed through those funds to the providers, Tri-County, Synergy. Subsequent years, we're informed that pass-through will not exist in the district. Instead, dollars will flow from the Children's Services Fund directly to those providers. So albeit we're trying to figure it out here in year 1, year 2 and beyond, it's probably going to change. So we anticipate that. So we'll keep you informed.
I'm curious how, every time you do something new, there's kind of learning along the way. And how will the activity be, the results of the impact be evaluated so that in subsequent years, in terms of making sure we're reaching the right students, the right services?
And that in part is submitted in our grant application in terms of what we measure, in terms of value.
Could you ask the question again? I'm sorry, I want to make sure I'm clear.
Well, just how do we evaluate the impact we've had and decide where do we need to adjust to get better impact for the students?
Absolutely. So, in part of the conversation that's happening right now is they have psychiatric services, counseling services, mental health, case management, and really dividing that up and thinking about who provides for it. So is it Synergy or Tri-County? And then coming up with what is the end goal and monitoring along the way. So some of that will be done through care teams within the school, continual meetings with the district and the service providers, and then identifying where are we seeing a greater need versus not a greater need. For example, one of the things that they provide are services for unwed mothers. And when we started this process, Liberty did not have any unwed mothers. Currently, we do have some unwed mothers. And so it's thinking about, not having certain things, and then sometimes life changes, and so how do we provide those supports for students, and how will we be fluid enough to be able to ensure that the right services are provided for the student needs.
And I think a companion piece to that too, which the board approved, was Panorama, the social emotional well-being survey. So we initiated Gallup student poll, kind of served its purpose. Panorama will allow us to take it a step further. We actually went through some training last Friday. This went around Panorama to be able to administer that in 3rd grade to 12th grade. That then we can use as a baseline. Here's the need. That can be used by social workers, by guidance counselors, by mental health experts, to triage and provide the appropriate supports. So I think you'll be able to anticipate us being able to track and monitor some of the data in conjunction with services that we're providing. So that in part helps us fulfill what we said we were going to do with the Children's Services Fund. We've had other means by which we administer student surveys, be able to gauge the health, mental health.
It's tricky. There's a lot of moving parts, and there's clearly a lot of need.
And it evolves.
And I think the school's probably in a better position to get a sense of how students are doing than the isolated providers who don't have the rest of the context, probably.
And then the other piece, too, is there's probably value in the collective districts and what we're experiencing. More often than not, if suicide is an issue in one district, it's likely an issue in another district. Vice versa, substance abuse, mental health issues. So I think there's value in, A, what Children's Services Fund sees across the districts, mobilizing resources and supports, making some awareness campaigns, initiatives. The downside of all of this, quite frankly, is that it's not available in every community. So we're fortunate to be building it as we're flying, because in a lot of instances, there's nothing taking on.
So the grant period is basically a year.
But then if you read through the information, it's really intended through 2020 for that. Speak to that.
I can. It is intended that way, but what they're concerned about is the unit of providing service. They estimate that it'll be approximately 10.5 months. And so they're looking that it may possibly be out by November of next year and rethinking what that looks like. So we've talked through that some because they're dividing how the services that they provide. Some of them are preventative in case where how do you do how do you train the staff in trauma to get trauma-informed schools, and then how do we train others? So right now we're starting with those 4 schools, but then how do we ensure that the rest of the district is benefiting from those kinds of trainings? So especially for the preventative, could we extend that out for further amounts of time versus just the 12 months of the unit that they're providing? So that's still in conversation to try to extend it out. And we'll know more once they come in, especially for the psychiatric and counseling services. We're really looking at the most at need kids. And so those care teams will help identify who they are and how that will work.
And keep in mind, the revenue stream doesn't sunset.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It's just that the service structure may alter or may evolve. So within this first grant cycle, kind of have a sense of what that's going to look like. Beyond that, that's really what is going to be there.
Will it require new grant applications?
Potentially, but it may come from the provider as compared to the district as that company. So that's what we're still trying to figure out in subsequent years, what that structure looks like. We'll stay close to it, certainly, and that in the end, we want to make sure that our students get the services provided. But that's something that will certainly keep the process.
Yeah, something very positive in the last 2 weeks, they've hired an executive director for the Children's Service Fund, which I think will be really beneficial as we move forward. So they just named her this last week. And we have yet to meet her, but I think that will help provide a lot of guidance in this process.
Well, I'm really excited about the program because we've been assessing kids' physical health for years. I mean, school districts have, but very seldom we think about the mental health. So it's a real positive step. So it's very important how well it happens.
I just want to speak to Heritage Middle School too. Also had their health class, did a PBL and had a presentation before a group of community members and school district members, and I talked to Synergy and Tri-County about what the students had come up with today, and they're really excited to meet with the students there to see how they accessed the needs and what their thoughts are, and moving forward to see if what the students are seeing as needs are something that they can also wrap around and provide service for. So they were very excited about that learning and partnering with those students in that health class. So that's pretty exciting as well.
Other questions or comments? Otherwise, this is an action item, and there is a motion.
The board approve the Clay County Children's Services Fund grant and enter into memorandums of understanding and agreements with Synergy Services Incorporated, Tri-County Mental Health Services.
I second.
Discussion on the motion? Roll call, please.
AJ,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Angie,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Kimberly. Yes. Andy.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Dr. Heidi, happy birthday. Sorry we had to ask you so many questions on your birthday.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good time.
Move on to new business and secondary course proposals.
So 10.01 was included at our November board meeting as part of the academic services report. Included information regarding 3 courses proposed for secondary for our high school students, a research course, a seminar course. Turn it over to academic services if there's anything else you'd like to add.
No, we're really excited for some innovative things that are happening within here, and then the idea to research and have kids really dive into an interest area of theirs and partner with either an education facility like UMPC or William Jewell or whomever would be happy to partner with our students. So we're looking forward to seeing how this will play out for them.
Timing-wise, that allows us to get the road running as far as spring semester schedule. Some of those conversations are already transpiring, but as we turn to
Questions on this? Or we're ready for a motion?
I move the board approving the seminar and technology course proposals.
Second.
Discussion on the motion?
I want to take music and technology.
That did sound really cool.
Roll call, please.
AJ,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Angie,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Kimberly. Yes. Andy.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We are at reports from administration.
Dr. Heidi, keep going. Academic service.
Are you tired of hearing from me yet?
You're on a roll.
You know, I'm blessed to serve with the teammates that I have, and many of those are behind me, but also just from teachers to even the students who partner with us to make things happen. Dr. Moore has facilitated the high school study team this year, and in partnership with Colleen Jones, really thinking about what does school look like and how can we possibly think about school differently. And so in those conversations, Colleen received a $10,000 grant to help get our teachers out to see businesses and continue those conversations about how we look at school and how might we look at school as we continue to think about the future. So a special thank you to all of the teammates, but especially to those two as they continue to think of how to get money and how to help our staff continue to see things in an innovative way. So that's one thing I wanted to share. The next is, of course, Dr. Westphal and her innovative and learning coaches are just instrumental in what we do and the practices that are happening in the PBL. I spoke about one at Heritage Middle School, but below you see some of those numbers and active PBLs that are happening throughout the district, and so pretty exciting to see how coaches are working with teachers to continue to think about real-world experiences for kids to make learning really very positive and realistic. So, thank you.
Questions for academic services?
Beth, on that list where you've got the graph with the teachers from the Innovation and Learning Coaches and the PBLs, is that total teachers, the total teachers of the building? Does that account, put everybody on one level or another?
Yes. I hear
Yes, sorry.
I hear that coming from the backer.
Yeah, they account for it, so they, at the very least, they have a relationship that somebody, especially at the high school level, for example, with so many teachers, it's really critical that the teachers know they have that job-embedded professional development support. So the key is that they know that they exist, right? So that's that first level. Like, I don't need your help, but I really want to know that I have it available to me. That's a goal constantly for the coaches to be in contact with the teachers, knowing that they have them whenever they need them, all the way up to level 3s are usually working on real level 4s in a coaching cycle where student evidence is a part of the improvement cycle.
So who determines what level teachers fall into? Is it
The coaches.
Coaches, okay.
They do, based on the work that they do with them. So their goal is always to be at 60% of their work on a level 4.
But to follow up on that, just out of curiosity, I noticed that Epic is not on that list.
Different type of coach there.
Got it.
So it's really more technology and integration specific.
Yep.
And so her work looks a little bit different than, instead of working on student evidence, it's more generational and really working on the integration of that PBL projects.
Yep.
It's different story.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up then, finance.
Thank you, Dr. Tucker. 2 donations to present to you tonight. A monetary donation in the amount of $200 from Gordon Dentistry to the Angel Fund and Safe Fund, Early High School. And a monetary donation in the amount of $700 from Tammy Keenan in conjunction with the Coffin Foundation Holiday Matching Gifts Program to be used for Blue Jay Nation and Liberty High School Theater. I thank both of them for their generosity to Liberty High School. Couple things just to draw to your attention. The business office has been busy working, tying up the calendar year. So not only do we deal with the fiscal year, we deal with the calendar year. And looking at data to get ready to 1999s and 2s, the ACA reporting. So they've been hard at work doing that. The Audit and Finance Committee did not have anything to bring to your attention tonight, and they will have their next meeting on January 15th at 5:30 in this room. And I hope you all have very happy holidays and enjoy time things.
You too. Any questions for finance? Springsteen,
Yes, sir.
I like the operating funds graph with last
Yes.
year and the new one layered on top. It's helpful to have a frame of reference.
Good, thank you. I like that change.
Next up, Human Resources, Dr. Vogel.
Thank you very much. We've uploaded a report for your review, and I'll answer any questions that you have. I do want to draw your attention to the information on the Network for Educator Effectiveness. We're kind of midway through the year now on those, and we've got some data that showed steady progress and growth, representing over 1,200 observations of almost 700 individual teachers across the district. So some pretty rich data to have comparisons. As you recall from the beginning of the year, the indicators for this year from a district level are different than in prior years. So indicator 2.5 and 7.4 are the focus across the entire system. And then each individual building adds 2 unique indicators that they incorporate with this. So this graph represents the district-wide indicators. The average mean is a little bit higher on indicator 7.4 than 2.5. But both very, very close. The December 18th data shows just how close those 2 indicators are. Midway through the year, this is the data that feeds into individual conversations that principals have with teachers as they formulate their professional learning goals for the year and have those professional learning conversations leading up to the season when we renew contracts for the following year. If you have any questions about any of the information put in the report, I'll be glad to answer those at this time.
Next up, operations, Mr. Anderson.
2 construction-related updates I'd like to provide. First, under consent, we approved the first round of kind of major bids related to the Liberty North project. And what we didn't point out in that update is that the bids actually came in below what was expected. So that was our first initial look at kind of the market, and I think the first reviews that come in are positive, and so that bodes well for us going forward. Also, just earlier today, uploaded a report. It's called the Prospectus under public content. And that is the basis to what we're going to communicate out to families and staff at each of the buildings affected by construction as we roll into 2019. And it just will just give a quick overview of what to expect and schedules and extent of the work. Each of those will be accompanied by a letter that will go out to those families and staff that will also include any other issues that may be related to traffic flow changes or what have you. So all of that will probably go out here Thursday or Friday this week with an opportunity if they have questions they can reach out to either myself or the building principal. With that, I'll take the question.
Adjust your picture. They do it next time.
Next item in terms of my report, just a couple of additions. We don't do this too often, but we do want to celebrate those that have served over the course of the years, and sometimes that does come with just some recognition of those that have gone beyond us, in terms of those that have passed away. And so I want to draw your attention this evening to an obituary that came across just a few weeks back in the Courier. Some of you may know the Overcrom family. Arnold Overcrom, 71 years of age, from Liberty, passed away Sunday, November 18th at Liberty Hospital. He was born on March 13th, 1947 in Independence, Missouri. William Maryland Overcrom attended Williamsville College, also attended the University of Oklahoma. He and his wife, Mary Margaret Repper, celebrated 49 years of marriage in 2018. They were married on August 9th, 1960. Further on down in his obituary, also served as member and president of the Liberty Board of Education. So certainly want to celebrate his life and his service to the public schools. They have the ceremonies back over Thanksgiving weekend. So again, you know, a couple of additional notable items. Board candidate filing opened this morning at 8 o'clock. And will run over the course of the next couple of weeks. So just want to make people aware of that. Thursday we have our Coffee with the Community, which Academic Services will be providing an update. Keep in mind we do know that timelines are a little different this year as the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education releases academic performance and proficiency rates, or APR, on our scorecard. We will nonetheless provide a report as to what we're aware of in the program that's going on within the district, with more to come over the course of the next couple of months as that information is available to us from the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. As we turn the corner into 2019, a couple of key items, as we talked about at our study session, as we relate to our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, as well as Vision 2020 Committee, a considerable amount of time will be spent this spring talking about strategic planning and what the future of Liberty Public Schools looks like. A variety of opportunities to participate in establishing a graduate profile, providing feedback to the district in an effort to try to focus in on a 3-year window, which is a little narrower than the norm as compared to a 5 to 10-year plan. We felt like we could pivot to a more 3-year window that's a little more agile and flexible, kind of charting the course for our district. So we look forward to initiating that conversation and inviting people to participate in that journey. In addition, in January and February, we begin scheduling opportunities to get out into the district and have State of the District meetings, partly to convey programming, academic performance data, growth of the district, facility, project updates, as well as strategic planning conversations with both our classified as well as our certificate staff. So we anticipate scheduling that mostly in February, but it might bleed into the month of March a little bit as well. And then also during the months of January through June, really, focusing on planning for the 2019-2020 school. We're already starting to have those conversations. as we look to our growth, as we look to our classroom needs, budget considerations, and so we'll keep you apprised of that progress as the spring unfolds. In the immediate term, as we return from winter break, keep in mind our study session is on January 8th. No rest for you all, and that will be back in January, off and running, and convening our study session. So you do have a reading assignment with our new reading in terms of that new book study, chapter 1 and 2. So we'll spend some time in that section diving into that. Last thing I would say, as many have mentioned this evening, for those of you here this evening, and those of you as well, hope everyone has a blessed holiday season. A little break, but then hitting the ground running again to turn the corner.
Brings us to upcoming meetings. We are back on January 8th for study session. And got a full slate of meetings plus conferences in there. And is that MSBA legislative forum? Is that
It's been
Is it ever?
It's been flexible in years past, partly because of the weather. So we'll keep you apprised if that is from.
Board remarks?
I had the opportunity to visit Liberty Academy, and of course I've been there before, but I hadn't been there since the physical changes, and the building itself just makes a real difference. It's now connected in my mind, like two compartments at one point. But what really I was impressed with was the students. A student, I think I'm right, did he say that the Academy saved his life? Or close to that. He's graduating at 19 years old. He'll graduate in 2 days. I think that's what he said. He's going to be moving to Springfield. He's not exactly excited about that, leaving his friends, but we shared with him he could take all this knowledge he's gained. He could move it just like he could move a laptop. It'll be a change, but he can make it. But I was really impressed with a number of students. I talked to students who knew what they want to do career-wise. One wanted to be a masseuse, and shared with me that they could make starting pay at $50,000. So I thought maybe I should have considered that when I was 18. Truly, but I had the opportunity to meet. He is really 20 years in education with the kind of enthusiasm, and he turned glassy-eyed as he spoke. He could be very philosophical, but also very practical. But I was really excited to know that we have someone like that within our district. I had an opportunity to meet him. And there was a gentleman from Kansas City who's running for school board in Kansas City who knows Art Smith, and they've been talking, and they introduced Mind Drive. And I had seen this project before and didn't realize it. I knew I had. They operate right off of 26 and Cherry approximately, and some real exploring kind of devices. And so truly I was impressed. Kids are excited about being there at that school. I mean, I didn't meet one student that wasn't excited. Even a kid that was kind of, I seen him down, I talked with him, but what he was concerned about is his project didn't quite come together. He was building like an Adirondack chair, and it didn't quite come out like he expected. He cured it or cut it, he trimmed it, and then it dried too fast or something. But even after we talked, he said he was taking it back on next semester. So, but I truly was impressed with that program. A lot of creativity, a lot of interest, a lot of this ideal is that I don't have to be locked in these doors. It was open. Truly, I think it's the future of education. If we, as we grow, that more of our schools will look like that as opposed to being an alternative. Deeply impressed.
And we don't forget, have the opportunity to share that story with the National School Association. So we'll highlight what's taking place in the academy schools, higher study, showcase the students. Pretty awesome.
I want to give a kudo to Dallas, because he doesn't get them all the time, and I think he's always giving them out. I'll tell you, the way you've embraced Facebook Live and communicating, I think has just been fantastic for the community. I was telling Dr. Tucker last Friday when all the students were coming in doing the holiday, I had it up on my second monitor and sitting there watching it and enjoying it while I was working. So I appreciate you embracing that and getting that out.
I would just second that. It was if we send it to grandparents on the West Coast, and they're able to tune in. Thank you.
Yeah, I watched part of Heritage on Friday afternoon from a courtroom while I was waiting for the judge to come out. And just before my daughter got to play flute, I had to turn off the phone. So, Judge Chamberlain frowns upon this.
Crazy what those judges
I know,
are.
right? So, happy holidays, everyone, and happy New Year. See you all next year. We have a motion to adjourn.
I move the board adjourned.
Second.
Roll call, please.
AJ?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Angie?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Kimberly?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
All right, friends. Good night.
Looks like they know Art Smith well.
Yeah.
I've seen Steve look.
Art Smith, philosophical.
I love talking to him.
That's